there are. Otto Warburg, two-time Nobel Prize winner. This wasn't some dumb guy. The cause of cancer is no longer a mystery. We know it occurs whenever any cell is denied 60% of its oxygen requirements. When the cell doesn't have oxygen, it begins to turn cancerous. The cells have to have oxygen to survive. Because what does the cell use? What does a normal cell use to survive? Oxygen. And what does the cancer cell use to survive? Sugar. It has to have oxygen to survive. And that's what they discovered. Being oxygen deprived is one of the major causes of all your illnesses. Oxygen deprivation in your body. One of cancer's primary characteristics is a lack of oxygen in the cell and blood. Cells do not function in the way that we were intended to function with depleted oxygen supplies. Your cells will not do what they're supposed to do if they don't have oxygen. They have to have oxygen in order to do what they need to do, and to replicate normally. And so for 6 months from now, for you to have good heart cells, for you to have good pancreatic cells, for you to have good lung cells and breast cells and all the rest of the cells, your cell has to have oxygen. So next year, it's going to replicate itself and keep replicating itself normally again. Causes of oxygen depletion. Number 1, toxicity and acidity. Toxicity. And so toxicity and acidity cause a residue which coats the membrane of the cell. Coats the membrane. So remember, the membrane on a cell, as long as it has what it needs, will let oxygen come into it. It'll let oxygen in. And so what happens is, when you're toxic and acidic, what happens is you start creating around the cell, right along the cell, you start creating a coating on that cell. Your cells become coated, and they become coated, and they get a sticky residue and a residue there.